beyond time, right? It goes back to my idea of, well, do we only live this life, or do we have a soul purpose? And back to that idea of family and my dad. Why was he my dad, and why did I choose him if that's my belief, which I believe it is? And maybe beyond my personal purpose, maybe there's a familiar one. Um, and I'm curious about, you said sundial. Where was that? Sundial, la, la, la. Action sundial. I'm curious because I know when I went to a few psychological sessions, they're usually 50 minutes. And it's like, if I'm in mid process and they're like, oh, sorry, time's over, bye, you can leave triggered. And in my process, I leave a time window for clients, a window that is more unconscious with the flow and the degree of resolution that they have within themselves. And so I wonder if that is similar. Um,
Hmm.
and then it comes down to this concept of divine timing, which I think is very different and a struggle, and definitely in conflict to conventional 3D time. You know, what we
Yeah.
think we should be doing and what really happens in divine timing.
Yeah. I think I'll be more at peace if I follow like my circadian rhythm and the rhythm of nature. Like perhaps like wintertime, it's the time to hibernate and be a hermit and reflect and integrate all the knowledge I've gained and wisdom so I can, get to the meaning of life for myself rather than just working 8 hours a day, working 8 hours a day, And just doing the same thing across the four seasons, right?
Right,
Like just to
wisdom.
be more aligned with nature's and life's intelligence. Mm.
Right, you said something too, work, career. Do you know where that word comes from?
The word career?
Yeah,
No.
the etymology, it means careening, to careen around a racetrack.
Oh my.
That's where it
Okay.
comes from. So we're all just careening, working our way up the ladder, or racing, racing, racing around the racetrack. And it's like,
Mm.
what do you get at the finish line?
Yeah. A pension.
Spirit and nature.
Maria says, my work lately has been how to live in that timeless space, fully present in whatever is happening now. Brain damage has really required that from me. Hmm. Just like pagans experience spirit and nature. Hmm. Yeah. It's such a paradigm shift. I can see how my identity is like, no, like I built my life on the way things are right now, and I ain't gonna entertain that idea. Why would I want to? Unless something happens, right? Like a crisis or something that causes me to look at that. Like Maria, you named your brain damage, right? Which now asks you, requires you to be more in the now, here and now. Yeah.
Well, and that's where I see the awakening or the quickening or the shift. I don't know how many of you are out there watching this, but how many people do you notice in your circle of influence, your family, your friends, who are undergoing some kind of life crisis right now? Whether that's physical illness, divorce, injury, family crisis, work crisis, there is a massive human consciousness shift taking place.
Mm. Yeah. And for me, if I were to make it practical for myself, I think it's more of slowing down the speed up. And I think
Mm.
everybody would agree about like there's more information than ever. There's so many distractions. It seems like life is just speeding up so quickly. Like overwhelm and stress is common in Western society, right? Capitalistic society. And so for me, there's value in like resting. There's value in being present. There's value with being with my sensations, like connecting with myself, talking to myself. And to me, I believe this is the path to self mastery. is when I get to know myself. Again, getting to know my needs, getting to know how to discern what I'm feeling, emotions, right? That are happening in my body, to make sense of it, to gather it as data so that I can be like more aware of myself and where I want to go versus
Hmm.
being influenced by external circumstances and people's opinions and etc etc. So it's like, how do I be in this world, like play this main character? Yeah, like explore the world through a child's eyes, like the imagination, a world of stories and metaphors and images that language cannot explain.
No, it brings me back to some things that we've said, and that is some of the most creative and dynamic thinkers, especially Einstein, right? Imagination is more important than knowledge because knowledge is only what we currently know. And imagine gives us the
Mhm.
scope of everything that was and can be. And the other thing about that is that, oh, you said one other thing. And now it's drifting out of my consciousness. Maria put up something else here.
Mm, yeah, it's been amazing actually. I miss all my appointments mostly. Oh, but I always am in a perfect place, trusting a flow, still working on grounding it. Huh.
Oh, that thanks, Maria. That reminds me, we were in one of our practices with the women the other day, and a lot of them came in going, "Oh man, I'm missing stuff, and I'm at this ha- high paced speed in my life." And I kept thinking to myself, well, after my grandson's hockey game is over, I'll slow down my life. And after this, and after this, and after this, you should finally realize, oh, I have to slow down. I can't depend on the outside world to slow down before I do. And a lot of the women, and we have this tendency of saying, oh, I'm not doing anything. I didn't do nothing. Nothing. To reword that as doing the most important things, which is rest, rejuvenation, being present, offering love, and all of the restoration. Because like the earth, trees, if they do winter and spring, they lie dormant and they come back. And as humans, we're not machinery. We need the rest, the rejuvenation, to be able to actually be of value, to contribute anything of great value, especially the great thinkers, the people who invent things, the people who think beyond what's already exists. It's absolutely essential.
Mm, yeah.
And but we downplay it. It's like we call it lazy. We have this judgment that is,
Mm. And it's because there's some trauma for me. Like, if my work or if my worth is attached to my work, like this idea of like if I don't start working and be productive, then that means I'm less than. Like
yeah, if
as
I
soon
don't
as
make some money.
yeah, because I measure that to my worth. The more money I have, it means the more successful I am. I carry that with me. Or the more I get stuff done, the more I feel better about myself. Interesting. Where's that come from? Why is my happiness attached to what I do or how much I do, right?
Goes back to relationships, probably because I don't have a lot of meaningful relationships. I don't feel in connection with others. Therefore, I get my worth through what I'm doing instead.
Yeah. It's very sad, I think about like working so hard and having all this but no one to share it with,
Mm.
or like going home and to an empty house. Like what's the point of just torturing myself, sacrificing myself, and of course it's so easy to be like, let me drink some alcohol, like it's interesting because the more money I have, the more alcohol I can get, and the more expensive alcohol I can get too. Right? So,
Yeah, anyone who
like
works
I'm
up
not
in McMurray knows that one. They make a lot of money, but there's also a lot of other substances out there to numb what the separation and the hard work that they're doing. Yeah.
yeah, so this whole living in this planet, man, like the root of it, the reason why I want to work so hard is to get that approval from my parents, 100%, to know that I am enough. The report card days was traumatizing. That their love, what I interpreted, was based on A's and having A's and meaning whatever they asked of me, right? And so definitely conditioned that love is based on performance. And so
Mm.
there it is, love, right? I want love. I want
All right.
acceptance.
Okay, well, I have
Hooray.
one for you.
Hmm?
How did that report card stuff and expectations of getting A's and doing that stuff, how did it make you feel?
Terrified. Well, first scared, terrified, and yeah, sad. Also helpless in a way. Yeah.
Can you imagine that's what we're making children feel? Terrified, scared, and helpless. Get an A. You can't get an A, you're not worth anything. Yikes.
Hmm.
Goes back, of course, to me, to the soul, to God, to if we're on the planet. Oh, what are you feeling right now? That was, yeah.
Well, I think like, yeah, soul's purpose, right? Like if you're on the planet, you're on the planet for a reason.
Yeah.
And that you have a gift.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Integral thread to the intricate weaving of the universe.
Yeah. And to uncover those layers, right, that have been programmed into me. Like to get to the source of my essence, showing up and contributing my essence to the world. Isn't that the journey, eh?
It is. It's mine, anyways.
Hmm.
Mm.
Soul work. Yeah. Excavation.
It goes back to trust.
Hmm.
Which I guess is faith based, which isn't about religion.
But it's the antidote to transactions.
It's the
Trust is the antidote.
transactions. That's right.
Hmm.
And what erodes trust? Fear. And I think this what goes back to our transactional world is that most of it's based in fear. Everything is marketed based in fear. They'll tell people that people respond better based in fear, and I think this is where people are starting to make different decisions. I have my clients at least come to me and they're like, oh yes, I just know this is what I need. I'm not going to go back and forth and argue in my head about what I need or what I don't, why it's good and why it's bad. It's just a yes. In my body, it's a yes. It's like that kinesiology. What's yes? What's life giving to me? And what isn't? And that our decisions are starting to be made because we're becoming more and more conscious on that life giving yes in our body and to follow that
Hmm.
without going insane and trying to think and outweigh and argue and blah, 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 blah. We can leave that to AI. Chat can give us all those different types of things, but only we know what is inner resonantly true for us.
That's right. Yeah. AI has data, you have discernment. AI has speed, you have soul.
And what's interesting about that, Andre, at least I think in this moment, is that if you can know in an instant what's true, you don't need all the time to sift through it, and it's exponentially quicker.